Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the I Thrive podcast. It's your boy, Sundin Esperance. And today I got with me Sister Vivian, I believe from Atlanta or
No,
from where?
Virginia.
Virginia. Got Virginia in the house today. I mean, I don't know much about Virginia or bad driving or food and stuff like that. But we got Virginia in the house. How you doing today, Miss Sister Vivian?
I'm grateful to be here.
Wonderful. That's
Doing
wonderful.
well.
That's wonderful. I'm grateful to have you, sis. Very grateful to have you. Brothers and sisters, as once again, these podcasts, as I say moreover, it's to help encourage and it's to help really, open the eyes of the sinner that could be watching this from outside as well. So I always say when a brother or sister is able to come and share their testimony on the I Thrive podcast, it's truly a blessing. It's truly grateful. And I'm truly happy to always be able to have brothers and sisters ready and willing to share it as well. Before we begin and get into the testimony of Sister Vivian, brothers and sisters, as you all know, this podcast affiliates itself with one church and one church only. That is First Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, where the leader, teacher, and guide is Apostle Pastor Jennings. Also, if you want to be baptized right in the name of Jesus Christ, you can go on to truthofgod.com, fill out a baptismal request form, and God willing, a local minister or a main point of contact, like a secretary in that area, can reach out to you and set up the baptism. Also, if you want to see if there's a church location close to you, now things are really starting to open up slowly, of course, in kind of like most places. You can also go on to truthofgod.com, click locations, and see what church is closer to you, whether it be an hour away, 30 minutes away. If that's the closest one, God willing, you'll be able to attend. Also, brothers and sisters, let's not forget to keep the apostle and his family in prayer, as well as the faithful ministering brethren who labor along with him in spreading this message of truth all over the entire world. Also, pray for the work all, and pray for those who are sick, those who are afflicted, those who are just going through tough times, brothers and sisters. Like, let's just not make it a passive way just to say, I'm going to pray, for our brother or sister. There's brothers and sisters going through it out here. I'm talking about going through. Like, you may think you have it bad, some are having it worse, so let's not forget to truly keep one another in prayer and, to be encouraged, as this teaching is tough and it is difficult, at the end of the day, it's worth it. Always ask yourself, what am I working for? If you're working at a job, you're making $8 an hour, $10 an hour. You're going to be like, man, what am I working this much for? This ain't worth it. What am I going to get? More paycheck to paycheck, more bills I can't pay on time. But being in this hard, difficult, holy way, the difficulties you're going through in terms of how you have to dress, how you have to think, what do you have to watch, all these things. What is the end? And that's what keeps me motivated. When I feel the heat on the oven, that's not even fire. When I just feel heat, my days, I just said, man, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep pressing. So keep me and my family in prayer, as well as my desire to strive. It's our desire to strive and to hold on to God's unchanging hand. So that's enough with me. We're going to finally be able to get Sister Vivian's testimony. So, sis, please tell us, how is it that God brought you out of the world and into the truth of God?
Forgive me first. I'm a little congested from taking the booster, but it's all good. So so 2006, I was accepted into Merchant Marine School. And I remember when I got there, I realized it was set up like boot camp, really strict. And I remember they telling us, y'all have no TV privileges. That's what stood out to me. And I said, okay. So I remember waking up one morning and the cadet that was in the TV room, she was watching church. I'm like, of all things, what? Who does that? She don't, I'm saying in my head, who does that? And I remember looking up and he was talking about how women conduct themselves, the wigs, the lashes, the nails, the clubbing, the drinking, the fornicating. So I was a little annoyed, because that's what I was, that's how I represented myself. I'm like, I'm already away from home and then I got to listen to this. So I didn't show no kind of, no, she couldn't tell because I kept it inside. I wasn't pricked or anything. It wasn't like I'm just going to change my life over this preacher talking all this mess. That's why I looked at it like. So I graduated, everything was fine, went home. And I remember, going out, having the best time of my life as usual, partying and doing all those things. But the next day, this particular time, I remember saying to God, who I didn't even know, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I know I'm supposed to be drinking and clubbing and fornicating and just doing this. I know I don't supposed to do it. But it's no way that I'm going to be able to come and go to church and play around when I know I'm not going to stop fornicating. I know I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to play with you. And I said, but if you just send me someone that can deal with me, understand me, that can deal with my personality. He's not married. He don't have children. If you can send somebody my way that's respectful and built like I like, I'll serve you. I was just throwing this out there. My list was so particular and so I was very, very, very serious about the list. To the point where I knew that it's impossible, because the guys that I'm dealing with around, they're all married, cheaters, bunch of kids. So it was from my, atmosphere. That was impossible. That it was not real. So I was just saying that because I pretty much was being, like sarcastic or manipulative, saying that because I knew that I don't have to be in church if you don't give me that list. So I left it alone. I got up because I was crying. I was putting on. I could have got an Oscar. That's how After that, apparently I wasn't fazed by it. So went back to work, came back on another tour, got back home, went clubbing again. So this time I go to the club and this guy walks past and he gives me a compliment and keep going. But I noticed that it was something different about his compliment and the way he did it. He didn't ask me for my name. He didn't ask me for my phone number. So I was like, something a little different with this guy. Paid it no mind. Next week I went back, same thing. Hey, would you like a drink? Gave me a drink, sent me a drink. Didn't ask me my phone number or anything like that. Kept going. Different. Guys don't do that. They usually try to, shoot their shot. Come back again. Guy, he sent me a rose. Don't ask me my name. Don't ask me my phone number. Okay. This time I'm paying attention. I'm watching how he moves, how he interacts with other people. Is he touching other girls? Is he doing just checking them out? I guess I got a crush, so I'm just, checking them out and everything. I'm like, okay. But it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm wasting my time here because he's not even, looking at me in that way. So, but I'm starting to crush on him. So let me not come to this club anymore. So I call myself going to another club. Just so happened he happens to be at that club. He and I noticed, I said, hey, you didn't speak today. He's like, yeah, I know I didn't speak because I'm on a date. I said, oh shoot. That, I was kind of low-key mad. But then I thought, if he's on a date, that means he's not gonna even talk to nobody else, not even compliment another girl because he's with someone. So I started liking him again. I was like, I'm not coming here. I don't want to see this guy. So I decide, you know what? I'm just going to break. I'm not even going to go to club this weekend. I'm just going to chill out for a minute, not going out. But I get a phone call that weekend. It's my sister called, my blood sister. And she's saying, I got some money. I want to take you out. You're always doing something for us. You know how I am with money. So let's go out. I'm like, I'm chilling out this weekend. She's like, and she kept, nagging. So I said, okay. So I get to the club and just so happened the table that she has is next to the guy. I said, you can't make this up. And he's at a table full of women. And I said, this is just like torture. I mean, nobody knows. He don't even know I have a crush. My sister don't know. Nobody knows. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So my sister gives me money to go buy the drinks. And at the same time, he gets up and we walk to the bar together. And he says, would you like a drink? And I was like, yeah, with an attitude because I'm already low-key mad that you got a girlfriend in my head and that, you at a table full of women. So I said, yeah. And he says, oh, may I have your number? I said, don't you got a girlfriend? He was like, no. I said, well, last week he was like, oh no, that's not my girlfriend. I just was on a date. Oh, then I was like, oh, okay. So we exchanged numbers and we was talking ever since, back and forth talking. I quickly knew that he friend zoned, like he just wants to be friends, and it got to the point where I said, I can't push I can't show him that I'm interested because that's his job, so I was just, for a while, then I started giving hints that I looking at him a different way. So he made it very clear. Let me tell you something. I like you. I like hanging around with you, but I don't want a relationship. I'm not looking for no relationship. I don't want no girlfriend. I got plenty of friends. I'm like, okay. He's like, and I said something else to him. He said, I'm telling you, I just like hanging around with you. I don't want no girlfriend. And so we wouldn't, we not having sex or anything. We were really like friends. I said, I knew something was different already. So in my mind, he can tell me all he wants, but I knew something was different about this guy. So as time went on, I remember let me see. So he friend zoned me then. And then I remember, I'm telling him, we're going to be together. And he's like, no. So after a while, I think it was him trying, just coming over one day. I think it was just coming over one day. He said something like, you got to come check this guy out. I'm like, okay. So I took his phone, went up. Before I looked at his phone, I realized it's the same guy. I'm like, okay. This is the same guy that I remember in Merchant Marine School. I said, for some reason, this, seeing him again, it got to be something. So I got to take it seriously. So I took his phone and I went upstairs and I looked at it. I said, okay. So me and him started watching him, but not really getting it in us. We was just watching at like leisure. And I do remember after a while, time went on, my husband's like, Vivian, at this point, I know that we're going to have to wind up, getting married. He's like, we're going to get married because I know your worth. I know that, if we continue like this, I'm going to do something stupid and you're not going to want it. So we wind up getting married. And I said, first I said, okay. I'm like, okay. Because, you want to get on the knee thing and, you dream in your head how marriage, the proposal was supposed to be, but it wasn't like that. And that's how we were. We was not mushy. We was just straight up, whatever. So he said, yeah, I might as well just do it because I'm going to do something stupid. I'm like, oh, okay. So wound up getting married. After we got married, we went to our honeymoon, which is in Las Vegas. Once we got to our room, people still calling from the night before. Hey, we had a great time. Guess where I'm at? I'm like, where? I'm in the hospital. I got alcohol poison. Everybody was just on cloud nine of, how wonderful the wedding was and the reception was. And I remember later on that night, I was going to a party. 50 Cent had a grand opening at this particular club. Getting ready for that, all excited, still all excited. And as I was going to make a drink to go to the club, something came to my remembrance. And I'm like, what? And he was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, sit down. So I sat him down. He said, what's going on? I said, look, before I met you, I told God that if he send me someone that can deal with me, don't have no children, know how to handle me, all these things, don't cheat, don't, I said, you or him. I said, it's happening. I said, I got to go to church. I got to be holy when I get back. I got to be baptized. He bust out laughing. What, you? He was like, you? I was like, I'm dead serious. I'm like, he was like, okay. Because he knows, like, again, we were following him, listening. So he knows what holiness look like, and he knows some basic stuff. And he knows, like, you? I was like, yeah. So I didn't want to spoil the moment because I know that we was on our way to club. So I left it alone. After he laughed at me, and, I was like, yeah, he think I'm playing, but I know what I just saw. I literally saw the conversation that I had with God when I told you I was on the ground. Yeah. Literally saw that. I saw what was my end if I don't do it. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I saw if I go back to club, if I don't do it, I saw everything. but I couldn't explain it because this is I don't even understand it. So I left it alone. We go to the club, and this is how the devil play. I know now. I didn't see it then, but go to the club, and it's a long line. He's they're telling they're telling us, come on, like us. So we get in. They people coming to us. We don't have nothing showing that we just married or anything like that. So we get treated so well. These guys come up to come to the VIP area. We go and we're like, what's going on? And they're popping bottles. They're doing all these things. And food. I mean, we just having a time of our life.
Yeah.
Like, and I think now I know now that it was all because I made my mind up that I was gonna. And it's like the devil sent all these people to us. Like this is what you be missing. I see that now, but I didn't see it that's time of my life. But still in my mind, it's still there. You better do what you just say you're gonna do. I'm like, okay. So as soon as we get home, I tell my husband, you got to find me that guy. He's like, I don't know where he is. He's in Philadelphia somewhere. He said, but you know what? I think my uncle might know.
Oh, he knew BJ? He knew of him?
Personally.
Oh, okay. But he heard of him though before.
Yes, because we were watching him. You remember he showed me his phone?
Yeah.
He said, you gotta watch this guy. So he was watching him from that point on. And then as a little boy, he remembered his uncle pointed to the church before. So he put two and two together. So he said, you know what? My uncle know who he is. I said, well, take me to your uncle. So we go to his uncle's house. It's a Saturday. So he tells my uncle she wants to, get with the pastor and this and that. He's like, well, he got a local church here. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. So meet me here Sunday and we'll drive over. So that's what we did. We get there to the church. Not too long after, guess who walks in? Pastor Jennings. First time we ever go, he walks in. I mean, literally, I'm sitting in the pew at the end, and I can put my hand out and touch him. That's how close this man of God is walking past me. Like, you gotta be kidding me. So everybody, he gets in the pulpit. Yeah, y'all didn't know I was gonna be here, did you? And I was like, yes. And he says, yeah, a surprise business meeting or whatever. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I said, because my plan was to get baptized, but then at the end of his service, he said, I hope y'all getting ready for the end of the year service. I said, oh, the end of the year service. That way I give my husband time to get this, to understand that I'm really gonna be holy because our lifestyle gonna change. Everything's gonna change. So I can't take it lightly, even though he's playing and think I'm playing. I know I'm not. So I said, that'll be great. I'll wait till the end of the year service. So after service was over, I told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait until the end of the year service. That way we can get some stuff out of our system. He's like, all right, because he's still thinking I'm not serious. We try to go to the club the next following Saturday. We get to the club and we order our drinks. We both sip our drink and it tastes like poison. Wow. I'm like, what is this? He's like, I don't know. So he takes them back to the bar. He takes them to the bar and he watched the people make it again. When he make the drink, they make the drink again. He brings them back to the table. We both drink it again. It tastes like poison again. We like, what? Before we can complain, we looked up together and we saw people coming to us in slow motion. Like, what is going on? And we know we're not drunk because we didn't get anything to drink. So they would look like they were melting. The makeup was the females. Their makeup was melting. They were moving in slow motion. They looked like they were dead. And we like, what? He was like, you see this? I said, yeah, do you see it? He was like, yes. We took off. And that was the last time I drank and we went to a club. We never went to a club again. We never drank again. And I was like, okay. So still not catching on. So now it's the end of year service. And I remember as soon as he said, who wants to be baptized? Nothing kept me in my seat. I got up first year of 2012 and got baptized. Wow. So my husband was like, oh, she's serious. Okay, this is real. This is really happening now. Oh, he was like, I'm like, yeah, I told you, So now the walk, I'm telling you. So again, I was just listening, was not getting it in me, was not really, I'm thinking, I know I'm gonna die if I don't do what I told him, because I didn't know what it was about. Had no clue that it was considered a vow until later on in years. I just knew that I said it. He brought it to my remembrance, and I got to do it no matter what. I have to do this. And when I started listening, I'm like, I got tricked, because who told me that this is what I got to do? That I can't wear pants for real? They serious about it. They ain't no you have a choice. My hair, I'm like, oh, what? This is, oh no. I said, okay. I said, but you know what? I want to be saved. So I remember the hair, because I'm an African braiding type girl. You know, I like the singly twist, the kinky twist, and you know, I put a wig on every occasionally when, you know, but that was my thing. I'm like, how in the world I'm gonna do this? And I remember I had singly twisted my hair, you know, it ain't not cheap. So now I gotta take these things out of my head. And what I'm gonna do, because you know, once you take it out, you got to I usually get a perm, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I wind up taking them out. And now I'm, you know, struggling with that. And then I remember the pants and all that stuff like that. And I say, you know what? I came here to be saved. So it's you know, I just did it. And I know it was a struggle because my husband wasn't used to it. He was really going through it. He was like, Vivian, I don't know where you think you're going looking like this, but you ain't going nowhere with me looking like this. He was like, what do you got on? And I was like, I'm holy. He's like, Vivian, you got on thick, hot cotton stockings in the summer. What is you? Who you going? Where you going? I thought, you know, I didn't know. I thought you supposed to look like Silly from The Color Purple. I did not know. Whatever I had to do, I just knew that I got to be holy. So it was a lot. It was a lot going on. And so the one thing that kept going and going is the ring, the jewelry. And I just got married. I mean, we are still paying for our ring. And, you know, he's still, and this ring is, I handpicked this. So I'm like, what? Because again, he's talking about all this stuff. It's not going in my ear. It's not registered. It's only registering me sitting in the temple, getting it in me. I'm like, what? I was like, oh my goodness. So I said, you know what? I'm just not going to wear it to work. I'm wear it to church. I'm not going to wear it to church, but I'm going to wear it out. I'm going to wear it to work. So that's what I was doing. Every time I got beat up. Nobody knew, you know, because I wasn't wearing to church. And I remember one day I said, you know what? I'm tired of getting beat up over this stupid ring. Because now it's stupid. It ain't what I thought. It's stupid now. So I left it on the dresser one day, and he came home and got home before work before I did. And he says, you're disrespectful. Why you your ring? I said, you know what? I'm sick or tired of getting beat up over this stupid ring. I said, I'm not going to hell with the ring. He said, and because I was so adamant about it and I was so passionate, he was like, oh, you know, I won't wear my eyes either. And that was it. I was like, oh, that easy? Because that was a struggle for not only myself, but him having to pay for something that I can't wear. And I just knew he was going to give me, but he was like, okay, because he saw how it was bothering me. So I said, thank you, Lord. You know, so I never wore the ring again. Never. So that happened. And that, again, now I'm looking like Cedar from The Color Purple. I'm not comfortable. I'm not, you know, myself. You know, I'm just going through. Like, but I know that this is better. This is more than my personal, you know, feelings or whatever. So I just kept, you know, doing it and doing. People laughing at me. My best friend over 25 years, like, you looking crazy. I'm like, you got to see the pictures of my son's graduation. I'm just, because I think I'm just in my zone or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what they think about me. I don't care. And then pastor had to come to teach, and I came to the temple again, unannounced. And he says, after service was over, he started just rapping to the church. He said, I don't know what y'all getting this from, looking like y'all down and out, but I don't have my wife coming out looking like any kind of way, and I don't have my kids coming out looking any kind of way. So whatever y'all getting this from, and I was like, I needed that. My husband was like, you know, like, so because it wasn't him gonna change the way I was looking. I was gonna look like I was gonna look until that happened. So So I said, oh, okay, we don't have to. Oh, okay. And that's what you get for looking at other people anyway. But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay. So I started to, come around or whatever. So once that happened, I realized that now I have to, take this stuff in and actually apply it in my life and just, do it right. Because I came here because God kept showing me, if you go back in the club, I saw myself get shot in the forehead with like somebody shot me in my forehead. Dead center in my forehead if I go back into the world. And I also saw my husband treat me like a dog if I chose him and his feelings over me being holy, because he didn't ask for this. He wasn't ready. I didn't ask him his opinion. I just knew I had to do this. And so I kept having the fear in the back of my head. Someday he gonna wake up and he gonna be like, I didn't ask for this. I still want to hang out. I still want to go clubbing, but it never happened. And I think one of the reasons because he didn't do that and hasn't done it yet is because I chose God over him. I chose, and I said, so being that I know this, that I chose God over him, this is what's keeping our marriage and keeping him sustained. If I change, I know he's gonna turn him against me. I knew it. I knew God was gonna turn my husband against me, my children against me. I felt that. So I know now that 10 years in, it's too late. So if he changed now, who cares? I love him, but I'm solid now, so that don't matter. How many had those thoughts? Thank God that he don't care about clubs and nothing like that, drinking it. Thank God, but I don't care now. That's not the same thoughts that I had earlier. So I just truly thank God that I was able to see, that he was basically telling me, this is what you said, and you better, because everybody don't have that you better do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that for me. You better do what you say you're gonna do, or else, and then show you what's gonna happen. So I don't play around. I still have faults. And because of that fear, because I no one can tell me that I didn't receive that fear, that if I don't stay this way, you're gonna die, or you're gonna get some consequences. And it's gonna alter my life either way, hell, or my life being with him, and turned upside down, miserable. Because I know, even in falsehood, I knew marriage was forever. So who wants to be stuck with a man that is doing all these things and it's God permission for him to do? Like, he's backed by God to treat me this way if I don't be in holiness. So he can't tell me nothing. I can't tell myself nothing. I know for a fact that if I don't serve God, what's going to happen to me?
Wow. No, yeah. Your testimony is literally the example of fear is the beginning of wisdom. You pretty much, you had a choice to make, but you were at least able to see what would happen if you chose a certain way. So because you didn't, even when you saw that certain way, because that is scary, if you're seeing that, and that brings fear. The man's probably going to treat you like a dog. You could end up getting shot in the head, and you're doing that while clubbing and so forth. But you made the wise decision. Wisdom began to set in where, you know what, I'm gonna stick to what I said, and I'm gonna go after it. And thank God, it's truth of God, because you could have just ended up in some next false church, you know what I mean? And then you think that you're saved, you thought that you're doing the right thing, and here it is, things just aren't working out. And then you're like, God, what's going on? Because you're not in the truth. And what's crazy is one thing, as I like to take away, a certain thing when someone's talking about their testimony, is the fact that God was dealing with you inside the club. In a club, here you have the alcohol in your hand, trying to taste the alcohol, and it's tasting like poison. You have to even think twice. And what's crazy, not just you. It could have been, you're drinking it, poison, but your husband drinking it and he's fine, he's good. He's saying, hey, Viv, you're going crazy. I don't know what's wrong. But the fact that both of you, if people want to see what mercy means and what it looks like. This is a beautiful example in the club, inside the club, where God is still. Now, I'm not telling y'all go to the club so God can do it. I'm not saying go to the club now. That's all I'm saying. But it's because there's some people, they just don't know better, right? And there's some, they take that risk, they take that chance because the fact that it was still a risk. You know, you knew what you were supposed to do, but you said, you know what, whatever, let's just go clubbing. But that's just so beautiful that God will deal with you in such a way to make the alcohol taste that way, not just for you, but for your husband, and to see those people makeup falling off, like as if they're moving slow, like that, right? That's a blessing to hear, you know. And I thank God that as that moment came, you ran, because now what some people end up doing, they abuse. You know, it happened one time. Let's see if it happens next week. All right, let's see if it happens the week after. But you took that opportunity and ran. And it's such a beautiful thing. A question I would have for you is, because, you know, coming in, because you obviously didn't know the hardness, the strictness of holiness. You just said, God, I'm going to serve you. You didn't know what you had to do, though. You said, I'm going to serve you. It's kind of like, you know, it's like, for example, I'll give you an example for a drive-through. You know, somebody that's behind, you know, the car, the car that's behind the person driving, they tell the cashier, say, look, I'll pay for them. Don't worry about it. You just let them know I pay. And then the cashier says, all right, the total is 700. And what do you mean? What's going, you know, you didn't expect it, right? But you said you're going to pay for it. You said you're going to do it. So let's go, giddy up. You get what I mean? And it was a perfect example with yourself where you didn't know what to expect and what you did. So in that time where you said, you know, God, I'm going to serve you and so, when you're hearing now there, because once again, I know, you know, Black women, because I grew up with Black women, of course, difficulty, what happens is when it comes with the hair, you know, when it comes with, because it's just what we grew up upon from a very young age. You're even told, I'll never forget it. It was because I was visiting, you know, my aunt, you know, and then it was like some of our cousins and stuff there. And they're literally adding hair extension to my little cousin. Like, you know, she's probably, well, now it's probably like 8 or 9, but maybe at the time 7 or whatnot, or 6 or 8. They're adding the hair extension to her hair. They're adding it, and she's crying. And I'm telling God, keep making her cry. And she's like, like it's hurting. She don't want it. And then I kid you not, the mom tells her, oh, don't cry. You're going to be more beautiful this way. And I said, bang, right there, that's when it starts. Right there, that's when it begins. The fact that you're going to tell your daughter she's going to be more beautiful in that manner because you're adding this thing, she grows up with that. So now it's like, instead of having her natural hair and whatnot, and take this in, the one making fun of her natural hair most of the time in high school are Black boys.
Yeah.
You know, white people, they just see it, okay? But Black people they look at this rough hair, yo. You know, like she just came out of jail. And now those thoughts come, oh, you know what? I know what to make myself more beautiful. In fact, my own mom told me I'm going to be more beautiful. That it's different if people are trying to convince you. But what do you tell a little girl when her own mother tells that? Yeah. You know, so it's a difficult thing to leave. So you coming in, not knowing what to serve, what was going through you? Did you have any doubts where you say, whoa, I didn't know I was coming for this. I may have to back out. You know, hearing the no pants, the jewelry, the hair, and so, like, was it like, man, you know what? I'm gonna have to just withdraw from this. God, I said I'm gonna serve you. I didn't know this was what you meant. So what was going through your mind? And did you have like any regret from what you said when you were hearing 1, 2, and 3 and so forth?
This is crazy for me because, you know, I'm getting chills just thinking about, he never put that in me that it was this or that. Like your hair, your ring, the pants, it still didn't have nothing to do with my salvation. I never had to put those two, you know, I just knew I had to make some adjustments. It never was, I ain't gonna do this. To this day, it hasn't came out of my mouth, but I got to keep living, of course. Yeah. I haven't had those experiences yet. What I can say is that I did not know that it was that serious. You know, like, this is real. They really not gonna let me get away with this. But I automatically knew that, okay, what I got to do to adjust. I had to adjust to it because, again, I wasn't raised by my mom. I was raised by my father. So I had to go back there to understand that he had me looking like a boy all my life. So I was getting joked and bullied all my life because, man, he don't have no style to him. He's a real man. Like, take an engine apart and then go make a sandwich and don't wash his hands and eat it, or wash his hand with some motor oil, degreaser, and then eat it. He was a real man. So I was not girly. I had no. So when I go to school, they laughing because my dad's doing my hair. It's lopsided, it's crooked. You put a big. It's just, I was a mess. Then I take pictures looking like that. The hot waters, I don't know what kind of shoes he had on. I was not girly at all. But I know how to fight. So I'm fighting all the time. Boys, girls, that's how they knew me, from fighting, because I had to defend myself. Tortured. So I said, when I get older, I'm not going, and my mom didn't know how to do hair. When I go visit her, she'll wash it real good. Chunky plaits all everywhere, all over my head, and didn't even match. It was so, that was a struggle. So when I got older, I said, I'm going to make sure I keep myself up. I'm going to, because I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of people looking at me. And, I had people usually say, how people be like, you look just like your daddy. They wasn't doing it, saying it as a compliment. It was like a dude, So that was a struggle for me when I got older. And now I got my own identity. Now I'm able to afford my hair the way I wanted. And then you tell me, the very thing that I struggled with all my life, I got to go back to my nappy head again, and no makeup, because I thought I'm looking some type of way now. I got the lashes, I got I didn't wear a lot of makeup, but I did the eyeliner, did my nails. I kept myself looking a certain way because I knew I wasn't going back there no more. And then I go to homes, what? But I saw that I didn't care. I saw that it didn't mean nothing to me when I got in holiness. And once I started getting the teaching in me, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to look like. Then I'm going to adjust. And like I said, my husband's like, oh no, you're not going nowhere with me looking like that. So I saw right then that I was serious. I saw it. I wasn't, nowhere near, where I am now, but I saw that this is going to be my life. This is how I'm going to live now. Because if I'm willing to go out looking like this, and I'm willing to, change and adjust for this, then this is real. What I'm going through right now is real. So my struggle was everything I thought that I couldn't do. How am I not wear pants? How is that possible? How is that possible that I can't get a perm? My hair ain't. I got nigga hair. I got coarse. I have kinky hair. Period. So but it was not worth it because I kept seeing that vision. I know, like for me, I have to take this serious because I know that's not me, and again, my ring, people used to say to me at work, whoever your husband is, he must be an NBA player. That's how big the ring was. Wow. And for me to dismiss it, I only had it 5 months, 5 or 6 months. That's I only wore that. And for me to be able to be like, I didn't go to hell with this ring, that is not me. Because the fairy tale, you get your ring, you get your husband, you get nothing happened for me. All that stuff I had in my mind, we go in the club together, we a married couple, nothing happened for me. All of it was gone. All that vanity I had in my head, this is how it's going to be. He took it all. He took it all from me. I didn't get none of it, And I'm like, wow, I was really, really serious, to the point where I was so overzealous. I had to even calm down. Yeah. So I had to get go through that phase. And that was in itself, because some of the stuff I was doing, I didn't have to put myself through it. But I was just determined not to get shot in my forehead. I was determined my house not to be upside down, because I knew I was not going to be I didn't want to be in a house where I'm not happy and miserable. And I kept saying that I got to do this right. I got to do this right. So the hair, it was a struggle for me. But I knew what I had to do. You got to just do it. You can't think about it. You just got to do it. You just got to figure it out. and just do it, And so I went and got my hair locked. I got the traditional locks first. I said, I already know me. I'm not gonna sit here and play no games with nobody else saying I'm strong. I'm not strong. I'm weak as I don't know what. So I'm gonna flat iron my hair. I'm gonna perm it. I'm not walking around here with no sponge. I'm looking like no SOS pad. I'm not doing that. So I got to do something where I won't flat iron my hair. So I go get the traditional locks. And then 2 years in, my husband was like, baby, I don't like them. I don't like them. You look rough. I don't like them. I don't like, not on you, I'm like, but I got to do something for my hair. I can't, I don't want to flat iron my hair. I don't want to do. He was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, And I said to myself, I can't fight him because he already doing enough. He already doing a lot. He can't go here. He can't do that. He can't watch this. He can't listen to this. It's a lot going on there. Then his physical, what he can enjoy is myself. He can't enjoy that because he turned off with my hair. I said, no. So I got to take it serious. I said, so, okay. I'm going to comb him out. So it took me a month to comb him out. And I said, well, what do you think about sister locks? He said, okay, I can deal with those. Those are much smaller. So I started growing my sister locks. So, but that's how serious I was. I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do. I know me. So I got to go dramatically to, I got to go there. I have to, because I'm not disciplined, but once I know what I got to do, then I go straight to the hardest thing to it. Like lock it up, because I can't, I can't trust myself. So, that's what I did for the hair part. And like I said, for the ring, I pawned everything that I had. And my wedding ring, I wouldn't pawn that, but I realized, I was like, oh, I can give it to somebody. Then teaching got in me again. You can't even give it to somebody. They get hooked on it. Who would not keep this ring? That would be somebody's stumbling block in the family. So I couldn't give it to my daughter. I couldn't, I was like, I got to. So to this day, I don't even know where it is. That's how much of a vanity it was, to the point where this thing that I cherish and idolize, I don't even know where it is. Could you imagine me going to hell over that ring that I don't even know where it is right now? Not even looking for it. So, and there's some pants, going to hell over some pants that I don't even care about pants anymore. My hair, just wake up, me going to hell because I said, oh, I ain't doing that over some hair. When this happened, I can just lock it up. So now I look back on anything I say I couldn't do because it's so hard. If you try, I just let my personal feelings go, to the side and just did it. And now I'm fine. I'm in holiness. It's a part of my life. It's like I breathe. It's very hard, but I'm not out there by myself. I have a template, I have a guide. And when I get off track, I can go there and say, okay, this is where I'm feeling. This is what I'm at. Let me get back on track. I'm not out here by myself.
What advice then, being a mom and, growing up from what you grew in and so forth, because I always like to see what advice, older sisters or those with, experience and so forth can share with the younger generation of, girls today, especially, within Black girls, because that's where the struggle is the most within the hair. And I'm talking about not just Black girls I'm talking about Black girls in holiness, as well. When people say, I'm just thinking, Black girls, and the reason Black, it's because I can only speak on what I know. Those of you that are watching, I don't know if white people go through it. I really don't. I don't know if they get made fun of because their hair is not long enough. I don't know. I just can only speak on what I know. And I know it's a struggle for Black girls growing up in the world, for sure, 150%. Like there's no self-esteem. There's no confidence there. They believe their self-esteem and confidence comes from literally being half naked on social media, having the best weave in the world, having all the makeup, the nails and so forth. Like they feel like they're somebody. Here it is, an example with Beyonce. Here it is, it's Queen Bee, and look how the queen dresses. That's the queen of the generation I'm in today. I thought a queen was one that respected herself. A queen was one that was well-mannered, meek. You understand? A quiet spirit. You understand? Shame-faced. My days. Queen Bee don't look ashamed of going out there and chaka, 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 chaka. She don't look ashamed. So what advice would you give, sis, I'm talking about, 13, 14, because I know there's a big struggle with it, especially for the ones in holiness who are growing up in it, because it's like, man, they now, because, okay, 5, 6, 7, yeah, but now it's kind of like when you're kind of like seeing the left and right. You're seeing, they're going to school, that friend that they're with, oh, I could do whatever I want. My mom loves me doing this. In fact, my mom pays for it. What you talking about? Me to look like that? Nah. After a while, it can start to get to them. So what advice would you have for that 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, year old or 17-year-old, a young Black girl, and a sinner watching this right now with pants, with jewelry, the fake hair, because I know, listen, I'll never forget one. She said, because when I was explaining to her what holiness was about and whatnot, I was telling her, no, within the woman, they can't have no fake hair, no plait in the hair, no braids, no jewelry, no pants, all of this. And you know what's crazy? Yeah. The only thing, the one thing she said, she never said there's not going to be any woman in a religion. She said, I guarantee you there's no Black woman. I was just telling her, no this, no that. And she was Black. She said, I guarantee you there's no Black woman. She could have said, I guarantee you there is no woman. That just goes to show what Black girls grew up upon. Just the wigs, and they grew up on to embrace it on top of it. Oh, yes, you bad. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look. You're supposed to embrace. Those are your nails? Oh, my God. You bad. All of this. They're growing up to embrace it. So really, what advice could you give for the one struggling with it and the one, a sinner? So the one struggling in terms of one in holiness, really fighting it, and now trying to, because look, another thing too I could mention is we don't know what our children are doing behind our backs. There could be one. Okay, your mom, my mom is gone. All right, bye, Dad. Our dad is gone. Now, they take that makeup that they were hiding, try to put it on them in the mirror and just trying to see, and just staring, just wishing they could look like this. And now they're calling mom, hey, mom, how's it going? I'm good. How far are you? Trying to see how far you are from the house now. But the mom has no clue. Now, I'm about 10 minutes away. Okay. Boom, taking it off, everything now, and going back now to the press without. So what, because it's such a big struggle, what advice would you give to that young Black girl in holiness growing up, struggling with it? And the older ones as well, of course, and a sinner watching as well. What advice would you give them? We'll start with the holiness. We'll start with holiness first. To the young Black girls, I know there's older, sisters as well in 20s and maybe some 30s as well, but I know it's mostly the young ones within the 16, 17, 18, 14, 15 era. What advice would you give for that struggling? Like if she just wanted to talk to you, if you had to just tell her something right now, what advice would you give her? Struggling with it, telling you it's too hard, this thing's too strict, like I can't just get simple braids. Come on, I just can't put weave on. Like I'm gonna go to hell over weave. Like I'm talking, and this is just in holiness. In holiness, what advice would you give?
I would start by saying, yeah, you're right. Analogy. Yeah, you're right. And this is what you have to do. You just got to do it. You start by stop investing in all this stuff that they're watching. They're doing a whole lot of watching stuff. YouTube, Facebook. See, I don't have all that stuff, so I don't have time. My time is not clogged up with a bunch of outside noise. So I had time to research. Okay, right now I want my hair to be a certain, length and healthiness. So what can I do? What can I eat? What can I drink to get my hair to grow naturally? Because when you perm, you thinning it out. You're alternating. It's not going to be healthy. It's breaking off. So first, let me get my inside, healthy. And let me drink a lot of water. Find out, by reputable people, not just one place, but people who look like me, what they doing. And so that's what you start off with. You start off, if you don't have a good grade or so-called good grades, and all of it's good. But if you don't have the length that you want, or the healthiness that you want, or the luxurious of the hair you want, then start eating right. Start with that. Instead of eating McDonald's all the time. You know, even as a teenager, now my brother, for you to make this, or I get me some vegetables. You can learn this that young to start eating healthy in your teens. Hair's going to start growing. Then it's not that much. You can just twist it up. You know, wash it, keep it washed. Simple as keeping it washed and twisting your hair up at night, and then combing it out or picking it out the next morning, and you have, you know, at any stage, the look, you know, not that much. Then it grows and it grows and it grows. Next thing you know, when you put your hats on, or you put a hair in a ponytail, you won't look so rough to yourself. You know, you'll still have that feminine thing, and it's natural. People low key know that at the end of the day, natural is beauty. They know it. You know, they know it. I knew it, but I still was convinced that the men that I was looking at, they weren't looking at me when I was regular. They looked at me when I had all this costume on. But to get their attention, I had to look that way. But when I opened my mouth, they realized, oh, she got good sense, you know. But don't lead with that. If you attract what you attract, and you want to attract positivity, you want people to look at you different. You want to be the one, a unicorn. You want to be the one that people are like, you different. You don't look like me. I got all this on, and you look simple and natural. And women will look at you and start asking questions. Not only men, but men. And you will feel good about yourself, because you ain't got to figure out where your lashes at, where the next time you get a fill in, you know, you don't have enough money. Just be, it's easier said than done. Yes, I truly understand that. But try it. Don't just, you got to just try it first. And that was 2 or 3 months. Try it, because when I had to take my lashes off, I've been wearing them for so many years, I looked like a cancer patient. I had no lashes because I wore those lashes for so long. So again, I'm struggling. Like, when I look in the mirror, I look sick. How am I going to deal with this? Oh, so that instant, it don't matter. I gotta be holy. It don't matter. So instant, that was only God though. That's not me that was doing that. It was Him helping me, because I asked for help as well. So He was doing that. Every time I try to, for a second, say, I look like a cancer patient. No, I got to at least get some lashes on. It instantly went away. So and again, my husband, he like, what in the baby? Hold on, come on now, hold on. You know, because I'm a whole different person. He met me like that.
Exactly.
Now my authentic self, no wig, no head, no nothing, no lashes. I look sick, so I know he like, yeah, it's all good. He, you know, that's nothing but God, because he ain't see no difference. So after a while, he's like, okay, this is what it is, and he was good with it. But the same thing, you have to be honest with yourself. I look sick. What am I going to do with me looking sick? What am I going to do with me? I don't feel like a female. I don't feel like a woman. Like I said, well, I can't change the fact that it's going to take me a while for my eyelashes to grow back. So I just made up my mind that I got to love myself. I'm healthy. You know, you have to get a mindset to look at the fact that I can't worry about what other people thinking and how my physical, you know, look, you know, I need to worry about, you know, is there anything I can do to change it? And if not, deal with what I got and just be confident in myself. My self-esteem has to be myself, how I look at myself. And right now, I'm healthy. I got children are healthy. I got a good husband. Or even if you ain't married, just I'm not sick. I'm not, and that's what I focused on. I didn't focus on the other stuff. It came, you know, all that other stuff came. The confidence came. So my advice is with the pants and all that stuff, I try to get out of it. You know, I'm like, where is it written at? The devil had me going for a minute. Like, it ain't nowhere written where, you know, you can't wear pants. Pants weren't even back then. And I said, and I said, again, God, in moments, He'll say, well, if you can't find it, then you just be obedient. I said, God dang, I can't win. So even if I couldn't find it, the Lord made so that pastor's teaching it, he's not contradicting God, just be obedient. And when I let myself go, when I take my personal out and stop fighting whatever that person in me and let it go, He makes it easy. If I can just tell somebody, don't fight, when you don't fight, you just try it. It's not going to kill you. You know, like, don't fight. So I said, well, I can't prove that he's wrong with the past, and I can't prove he's right. I'm stuck. Just be obedient. I can't prove that. It don't take all that for me to, wear fake hair. I can't prove that. Love yourself. Okay, I'm loving myself, but what's wrong with me wearing fake hair? What I got to do? I couldn't get it. Just be obedient. It don't kill you. Just try it. Just try it. Just do it. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about what people think about you. Don't worry about it. If you're gonna be in holiness outside in the world, get off the YouTube. Get off away from people who don't look like you. Stay away from people who criticize you for being yourself. Then you won't know it. Once you put more of just seeing you and people like you, then you get adapted to that. You being around people who don't value that stuff, then you won't know you're missing nothing. Get off stop looking at Instagram. Stop looking, because that's what makes you compare yourself. All you're doing is comparing yourself. So if you don't have to compare yourself to, then where's struggle at? Because then you got to worry about what's inside you. Then you need to fix that. So my advice is get off YouTube, get off Instagram, stop looking at other people, focus on yourself, take care of yourself, eat right, drink water, exercise. If you don't want to exercise, just walk. Put something in your ear. If you're in holiness, there's always some teaching going on. Put something in your ear, walk. If you're in the world, whatever you listen to, just do other things and sit home, eat snacks all day and order DoorDash. I don't know what they're doing these days. You know what I'm saying? You can start within. But the biggest thing for the people in the world and holiness, you're comparing yourself. And you're looking for a man. You see what I'm saying? If you're looking for a man, you're looking for someone. And I realized that it's not looking for a companion. It has nothing to do with you still loving yourself. You still got to love yourself. You still got to treat yourself, because he don't want you looking any kind of way. Because when you get married, you still got to keep yourself up. You still gonna want to have yourself taken care of. So don't worry about, if I look like this, I'm never gonna get a man. You don't know what God. Do you know what He can do for you? Because in ignorance, what He did for me, I'm ashamed of what I said to Him and how this all happened. I'm ashamed of how I tested Him. You know what I'm saying? I'm ashamed of that. But I'm vowed now to make sure I do what I said I'm gonna do, because I had no business. This is God. I didn't know who I was talking to. And I literally told you, if you do this for me, then I'll serve you. Who am I? I'm shameful. I'm embarrassed. And I'm gonna have to deal with it for the rest of my life. I thank God He forgave me, but it's embarrassing to think that if you don't do this for me, I ain't gonna serve you. Come on. So in holiness, it's shameful for us to say my hair is more important than me serving you upright. I'm not. I can't be my whole hundreds. My whole full self, because I don't look like this, so I can't wear this. It's an insult. It's an insult to the finest, for the holiness, for the ones that don't know. That's what And then you can be struggling. I understand you struggling. It's a real struggle, but you got to ask. You got to say, help me, and you mean it. You got to say that. You got to get your pride out of it. You have to ask for real. Help me with this. Help me, and don't be like, well, I ain't doing that. That's different. And I ain't no way I ain't looking like that. There's no way. So to me, you have to ask for help sincerely in holiness. You have to want it. You have to take your personal, to me, out of it. That's the best advice I can just do it. Just do it and stop and delete your Facebook, Instagram, outside noise. Do what you're supposed to do, and it won't bother you. And be around people who look like you. Don't compare yourself to them, but don't be around people who's doing the thing that you envy. Wearing the things that you envy. Don't be around that all day long. And if you're at work, tune them out. Tune them out. Realize that they're ignorant, and at some point they're gonna have to be like me. Following the same guidelines as me. I just need to focus on how to get there, and they're gonna have to do the same thing too in their point in time. So they're not my measuring stick. They claiming they happy at home and this and that. That's not my business. I don't even know if it's true. this is what I need to do, and I need to focus on that. Don't worry about what they look like, how they have a good time. When they tell you, when the real come, because God already told us what their life is going to be at the end. You know, we already know the end. Yeah. So why are we do that? Why are we so fascinated with someone that's on their way to destruction? You know, if they don't repent and change, they got to change to what you're trying to do, to the information you have. Yeah. So they can't be your measuring stick. They are in ignorance. You know, right now their mind is blinded. Yours not. You supposed to be the light of that workforce, that company or whatever. You supposed to be the measuring stick. You supposed to be the light, not the opposite. So get your stuff out. That's the advice I would give. Get your stuff out of the way.
Wow. So pretty much, and correct me if I'm wrong for anything, it's, you know, the one struggling in holiness, you know, one thing is stop focusing on the negative aspect, I should say, of I can't do this or I can't look like that, but focus on what you can do to have that growth come, what you can do. Because a lot of times under these weaves, these women's hair, it's as, you know, as much as the one I have on my head, you know, maybe a couple of, you know, braids. Maybe a couple braids, you know, here and there and stuff, but it's, you know, pretty much focus on, you know, putting in the work in to care for your hair, to, you know, take care of it, to, you know, flourish it, get what you need to get done, and for that growth, for, you know, it to grow healthy. And of course, eating healthy as well can definitely help with that, as you're saying too. And another thing, you know, you said that's key, I think, is for both sides, sinners and those in holiness. Why is it, you know, you're being so fascinated by something these girls can do when you know where it's going to lead them, you know? And when you look at it like that, that's the reality. All right, they're able to dress how they want and look like this and look like that, get all the attention and this and that. But at the end, where are they going to end up? You know? And so it makes you think, it makes you wonder, and okay, this thing that I'm in, yeah, I could be around people who are like me. Maybe, because look, if I'm not trying to smoke weed, but I'm constantly around people that do it, yeah, you know, it's going to be a matter of time before, you know, I'm like, yo, man, how come they could smoke weed and I can't? You're around them all. But if you're around people now, I don't want to smoke no weed, that thing ain't for me. Yeah, no, you know, it's kind of like that. We have that same mind, you know, you don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, me neither, because you're putting that around you. And I think that's very important for the younger ones, you know, because they're the most vulnerable ones, I should say, you know, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and whatnot. When you put yourself around, it's like you put yourself around, you know, nonsense. Okay, look, you're going to have friends in high school and stuff like that. I get it, you know, but you have to have your limits. You have to have your standards. But when you put yourself around them and you know what they're about, and for you, you're just convinced because they respect your teaching and so forth, that's why you could be around them, but you constantly always are trying to slowly want to be like them, something's wrong. But if you could put yourself around, you know, and look, you may not be able to find a brother or sister at the same school you go to, but you may find somebody with the same principles who is not in that engagement, you know, who don't want to be dressed looking like that. The skirt is literally right under their birth canal, right under it. You know what I'm saying? You could dress with one. Yeah, she may have pants and whatnot on, but she respects herself. She said, oh, well, with that, you know, I prefer to be covered. I prefer to, you know, and once you could put that in relation, once you put that together, it could help out, you know, and pretty much in what you're trying to say. And then for those who, and another thing too, what you said is, because some people may understand it in the wrong manner, it's when you said you didn't know whether, like, for example, the pants was wrong or you didn't know it was right, but all you just knew what you had to do was be obedient to that. Some, of course, you know, sinners could look at that and take it as, oh, so I'm just supposed to follow something and no proof. So Mr. Pastor Jennings doesn't have Bible for this one, does he? Huh? No, it's not what exactly, he has it. It's not what she's saying. Those of you that are watching from out, but it's you know you're in the right thing. You may not know why it needs to be done. You may not find it in the scriptures, and you may not have heard it taught yet, but you just know you have to be obedient to it. So that's what better that I'm obedient to it than to risk saying I can't find it, so I'm going to go my own way, and God cuts you off that way. You understand? It's not where she's just saying, even if it's not in the Bible, just follow it. That's not what she's saying at all. It's, I don't know, because there's going to be things you come in truth you don't know yet. You understand? You don't know. You can't find it. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. Because I know you know it's supposed to be done. You know it must. You just can't find where. You understand? So it's like an example I can give. One may say, and this is just an example. One may say, well, I don't see where I can't drink. You feel me? I don't see in the Bible where I can't drink. So hey, I'm a dose before I hear it. You know, it's kind of like those hard-headed kids. Oh, I'm just gonna keep doing it until someone tells me to stop. Until someone says stop doing it. To the point where by the time somebody's telling you, it may be too late. Right. You know how kids be, you know, hey, don't listen. You know that corner over there? It's a lot of shooting, a lot of, you know, prostitutes over there, gang violence and stuff. I don't want you to go around there. All right. Don't go. Don't ever go. You know, you have some, they're going to be like, okay, you understand? He's telling me such and such. But then you have some that will literally say, well, look, he can't really prove it to me. So I'm just going to keep going through and until something happens. And you wait until something happens to really say, shoot, I should have listened. But, you know, so not all people have the opportunity to even say, I should have listened. Because some people, it's too late.
Right.
You understand? So there may be things you don't know yet, or you haven't. That's why I tell those as well, things that you hear preached. When the apostle was saying something, if you don't know, if you just don't know, just be quiet. Be cool. Just, you know, give it time until you could get understanding of it instead of fighting it right away. Especially within the vaccine thing that came out. It's like people are all of a sudden. It's like people, they knew more than the apostle now. All of a sudden, oh no, he's a false prophet. Nah, man, I knew something was wrong with this. What do you mean you knew something was wrong? But they'll get up and praise and testimony service. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm truly grateful to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for our leader, teacher, and guide, Pastor Jennings. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm truly grateful for him for all the stuff that he's done for us, all the stuff that he continues to do. He's a true man of God. But as soon the vaccine came out, oh, nah, I knew something was. If you knew, that means you had knowledge of it. You were just waiting for confirmation. Hey, slow down, oh. As Nigerians say, you better slow down, oh. You better relax. You know, so if you just don't have the understanding, or you don't understand the way something is going about, pause. Be at ease. God, I just don't understand this, you know, but I'm gonna be paused. I'm gonna relax. I know this man is a true sent man of God. I know I know you're in this church, oh God. I know you're with him. I don't understand what he meant or said. I'll give it time, Lord. You understand? But people will just try to rush and boom, boom, boom. So in this case, as she said, brothers and sisters, I can't find it. You know, or where it doesn't say, I can't find it where it does say to be a certain way, but I'm just going to be obedient. And that's another prime example. Let this mind be in you that's also in Christ Jesus. That's a beautiful thing to have, because if it's our personal feelings that get involved, a lot of the times that won't be the case. A lot of the times, you know, so it's wow. Your testimony, it for what I'm seeing is it's like a lot of mercy has been on you, like all of us, you know, all of us. You know, it's all mercy and so forth, but it's just it's like, wow. Because you could have just had some next mindset. You could have just said, nah, I ain't with this. I ain't seen this, blah, blah. It's unbelievable. You know, and one thing that's just, you know, constantly striking me is the fact that God dealing with you inside the club. Like stuff like, what else do you want from after that, brother? What else could you ask for? Here it is. You know you're not supposed to be there. You know you said you're going to serve him. You know you got what you said you wanted and so forth. And what do? You go to the club. He could just say, listen, he could let you sip that alcohol and cut you off while you're sipping it.
Yeah.
Now your husband, hey, come on, somebody do CPR. What's going on? But yet he didn't even let you enjoy that alcohol. Make the thing taste like poison. Brothers and sisters, if that is not mercy, I don't know what is. If that is not patience, because what you need to understand, God doesn't have to do it.
No.
You know, I'm just a piece of dirt. We're all just a piece of dirt out here. Who is somebody to say where, nah, God, he owes me. He better. What? So that's why, Sister Vivian, your testimony, it's just like, wow. But once again, I'm not telling y'all keep clubbing and drinking and go out there party. Oh, so she dealt with him in the club, eh? So fam, listen, let's just keep smoking our weed. He may deal with us too. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that is just mercy that God had upon it. Just mercy. Now, if you were to go and you say, oh, I'm just gonna go to the club and this, and God will deal with me there, my days, I wouldn't take that risk. That's stupid. That's not even wise. That's stupid. So says before we close and whatnot, as I always ask all my brothers and sisters, it's how grateful, I really want to ask this to you as well. How grateful are you to God for the man of God, for sending a man of God in these last evil days to get us in line, and we don't deserve it? How grateful are you? What can you even express to God, the gratitude you have for sending Pastor Jennings in these last evil days?
When I tell you how grateful I am, it's not even a vocabulary that I can even express, because it had to be him. Mm-hmm. It had to be all the ingredients that Pastor has. It couldn't have been nothing else, because it's a certain way I was raised. My dad was like I said, real man. He was straight to the point, no foolishness. So I'm used to that. No one timid can come to me telling me nothing. You ain't even confident in what you're saying. Mm. So it had to be that type of guy, built that same way, ain't scared of nobody, can care less what you think about him, is scared to death of God. Mm. He fears God, and it comes out of his pores, that how fearful. And even if he gets out, let's say make a mistake, he'll tell you, don't quote nothing I said, because I can change my mind. He just said this not too long ago. I can change my mind. He's saying that because if he even quotes something or do something wrong, he know that there's a possibility God can deal with him and hey, bring something to his understanding. Mm-hmm. Being real like that, I need that. I need to be able to trust the person that's feeding me. And because of this particular man, God sent man, not saying he's the only one, because God, Pastor teaches that, some and is written, but I'm talking about the one I have. The way he is and the way he doesn't mind sharing his experience. Once he get over him and he can truly say that's in his past, he shares that. He don't keep that to himself. Some of the things I was like, well, I'm shocked he shared it, but I'm glad he did, because that I needed that. I needed to hear him say how he felt when his father passed, how hurt he was, and how he still feels it to this day, because I lost my dad 2 years ago. Wow. And that, sorry to hear that, baby. Yeah, that was my love, my first love. God sent me the perfect dad. I had that all-in dad. And when he described that, I had my dad in his full strength. So it didn't register. But as soon as my dad passed, everything that Pastor talked about his dad came to me. How he loved him, how he missed him, how he was a great dad, and how when Pastor talked about his father, how he lights up. And I was like, I don't have to be down and out. I can literally just think about the good stuff. I haven't cried since. Can you see what I'm saying? And I called God out on that. I said, Lord, you said you will be a comforter when I need you. This is the first devastating thing that ever happened to me in holiness. So I said, all right, I need that now. I didn't know what it was called. I was grieving. And so I thought I had COVID. So I'm halves. I'm like, what is this? What's going on with me? I jumped off the bed and told my husband, I got to go get tested. I think I got COVID. He was like, you don't got no COVID. I said, yeah, I think I got COVID. And I come to find out I was just grieving. My body just shut down, did something. I don't know. But I was just grieving. And then, like I said, start sprinkling. Every time I want to cry, he would give me a laugh. I can feel my dad hug. The last hug I gave him, I can actually feel it. And I can hear conversations that we had. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, down the road, but Pastor sharing that experience helped me years later, 10 years later, how he is with his father. I'm like, okay. Him saying how, being weak, you cared about what people think about you. That was a struggle. Like, I literally, like, oh, wow, I'm weak. If I can hold a grudge too long, I'm weak. If I can look at my brothers and sisters and, because I used to think that everybody was on their way. he had to teach that. Everybody's not on their way. Just because they're in holiness, and he'll tell us, I bring in, when I put the net out, I bring all types of stuff in. So I was looking at people some type of way, because people would literally come up to me and say things about our leader with the so-called Holy Ghost. And I'm like, where am I? What? Who? You know, and I would literally, you know, look at people different. And everybody's sick. You know, we all sick, judging them. And judge them. Pastor teaches us that. I'm like, how do you forgive like that? Because you have to. You just get your personal feelings out of it. He teaches this. And I'm like, if it weren't for this man teaching this, because I didn't understand it. I'm like, I got to stay away from them. I don't never want to see them again. I don't want to be around them. People literally try to get me out of the church, you know. And I remember one sister saying to me, you know, you got to be careful about you know, you're not having your own thoughts. Because when I came here, I was laser focused. Everything the word said, I'm doing it. You know, I ain't care. And she said to me, you know, you gotta have your own thoughts. And I was like, she's like, you know, pastor don't preach Sabbath day no more. I'm like, you know, you don't even supposed to be talking about that. And then I realized when I you know, eventually she wound up not coming to church no more. She, you know, but the thing about
it was a sister in holiness.
Oh yeah, she says, you know, and again, if I won't prepare because of teaching, I wouldn't have been prepared for her, because she was dressed the part. She looked the part. Holy Ghost, so-called Holy Ghost feel, you know, humble sister. And she said to me, you know, you shouldn't just take everything in. You need to have your own thoughts. You know. I'm looking like, okay. She said he don't preach on the Sabbath no more. Because she got close to me and tried to, you know, I didn't see the end because I'm new. And then she said the Sabbath. So I started researching it, the Sabbath and all that stuff like that. And again, because God already put some fear in me, I looked it up. And I said, I can't find that. It's over with. So I said, you know what, forget this. I got on my knees and started praying, Lord, show me what she's talking about. And when I did that, my phone automatically YouTube. When I went to put on YouTube, the black and white picture, it was no video, it was just audio of him with a bow tie talking about the Sabbath and why we don't, you know. I said, you know what, you can lift this number to God. I called her up. I said, hey, I'm good. We good. You know, I'm good. Everything good. I'm in holiness, and that's that. And
she left.
She's gone.
And please, describe how this sister who is trying to tell you this, describe how she is. You know, you said humble and so forth, because a lot of times people think it's going to be the very obvious of somebody in here telling you. Describe this sister. And those of you watching, take notes. Describe this sister that was trying to convince you. Hey, you can't be just laser focused like that. You got to start having your own thoughts. Don't you see this man don't preach on the Sabbath? Describe this, please. And now, and you said you were new on top of it.
Oh yeah, I just got here.
Fresh blood, fresh meat, fresh blood. You could have been vulnerable, as some say, because you know when you just come into something and someone tell you, look, man, I ain't gonna waste your time, but over here, I'm telling you, bro, it ain't it. You know, such and such. You know, they catch the vulnerable versus the one that's been there for so long. They can't do the same thing. And this is an example of something where PJ said he preached where certain people, they know what people to go to bring trash to them. They know they can't go to anybody, you know, or any type of person. But please describe the same sister or, you know, old sister that was telling you this, how she was dressed, how she conducted herself. Please.
She was very well put together. She was dressed the part, head cover, meek and quiet. Wow. She was never not. It was not a service she missed. In fact, I call myself getting there early. She was on the steps before the people with the keys was there. She was on the steps just waiting. And I was like, she was like, yeah, the door's not open yet. She was faithful. She testified. She sung, beautiful voice. I mean, to be clear, when you first come in, you pick out people who trying to, you you're just looking. You have. That's what you do. You just look and try to figure out where you fit in, how you. And that particular sister came in later. She came from Philly, I believe, or New York, or something like that. So she wasn't a native at Virginia. she came down to get closer to her something. I forgot her testimony, but she came down from Philly or New York, if I'm not mistaken. So she, everything was just, so when she spoke, I listened because I see her moving in spirit, and I had no idea, and I thought she was just being a big sister because she was older, a little older. She looked good for her age, very good looking woman, kept together, and I said, and then as time went on, she invited me and my husband over, so she befriended us first, and we went over for dinner one day. And nothing negative. Nothing. I got no vibe, but I keep hearing Pastor in my head, don't click up, don't get close to nobody, but not you ain't talking about her. You know what I'm saying? You can't be talking about her because she's doing what you told her to do, So it ain't, I understand what you mean by that, but I can tell them, I can see them afar off, I can see them, but you can't be her. So I didn't think, I didn't even put her to that. So fast forwarding, she just said to me, this is a phone call. And she says, you got to be careful that you don't have your own thoughts. You got to have your own thoughts because, pastor don't teach, we don't observe the Sabbath no more. And, we're supposed to. And I don't know what that really is. I heard it, but I don't know what that means. I know now, of course.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, we don't supposed to be, having church on a certain day and something like that. I can remember. So when I got the phone with her, I researched it. I'm like, okay, Sabbath day, and then the scriptures was saying keep it holy and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, we do supposed to keep it holy. And then and then and I was just doing my research. And I remember saying, I can't find it. I can't find where we don't do it. Again, because I'm new. Get on my knees and say, Lord, show me what she's talking about. Show me what I need to know, And then I put on YouTube. And then the first thing was pastor in a box, black and white picture with a bow tie on, audio only, singing. While we don't commemorate it, we're supposed to do it every day. And then I say, thank you, Lord Jesus. And I called her the next morning and I told her, I'm good. So she was like, okay, I didn't want to offend you. And then I was like, no, I'm just good. Everything good. I figured out what's what, like that. She didn't call me no more. She didn't never call me again, and I never called her again. Maybe a year or so later, I was in Marshall's department store. And guess who I see? Her. And when she came to me, she was buying, I still remember like it was yesterday. She bought a crystal. She had a crystal cross in her basket, crystal cross. She was buying, and I noticed she had makeup on. And I said to myself, what does Sabbath got to do with makeup?
Hey.
I said, wow. What is you know what? And I just was polite to her, and I just went on my way. But those are the type of things that and that's not the first one, and so I was getting turned off. Like I literally took it personal. Like, y'all playing around? I had a sister tell me that, crying to me one time because she wanted a man so bad, filled with the Holy Ghost. And at this time, I'm again new. What you crying for? I couldn't even be so sisterly with her. I literally went off. What are you crying for? You got the Holy Ghost. You something I want, and you crying because you want a man. But get a man. Why are you under this teaching since youth? And you're a grown woman talking about you want the Holy Ghost. You tired of men playing games. How you getting tired of men playing games if you supposed to be in here getting the word in you? Why are you worried about him? I went off. And again, if it weren't for his teaching, I had to calm myself down, realize that it's a thing. It's a struggle. And everybody is sick coming in here and they're getting persuaded by outside, and they got this thing going on in their head. And I have to have compassion and realize that if I'm weak and I know I'm doing this for real, then I can imagine what they're going through. So I had, but it's a lot of stuff that, that if it wasn't for our leader being so raw with it and just being honest, like the faggots. Why are you teaching that? I said that to myself one day. Every time I come, faggots. 1 year was just faggots. Gays. I'm looking like, I'm not gay. Anybody in my family gay? I didn't know that when I go to work, that during Obama regime, he was going to put in faggots. You got rights. That affected my job. I had to lose my job, quit my job, ask God to remove me from this job because I couldn't change people's, birth certificates to say they were men when they were women and vice versa. So all this stuff affects me. I had to really get that in me. I was like, oh, I can't be here. Lord, can I leave? And he didn't answer me right away. But when he did, I was able to leave, and I can, he was all in that. So again, I'm grateful that the leader doesn't, whatever he's being led by God, it's not his own thoughts. I don't need his thoughts. I like some of his experience that God gave him, but his thoughts, he makes sure that he's giving us what God wants us to have, and he's not selfish with that. And so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful I have a leader like that.
Wow. No, that's wonderful. And, another top it off, it's, the fact that you just came into the truth and, that was your experience, that could have turned a lot of people off and kind of really make them ask questions like, man, what is this holiness thing about? I got this one sister crying, this sister in holiness crying to me that she wants a man. And then you have this another sister who's been, as you said, and that's why I said, those of you, I hope you took the description well. I hope you took the description well, because it's, you would have never imagined, when you see that, a sister there before the keys to open the place and, all this and that, befriended you did, brought you in, try to, get you in, entice you. And then now a year later, and the thing is, that's what I love what PJ says is, we think that they left a year or 2 years later. You start to leave while you're in truth. Already your mind is somewhere else, and I guess she was just trying to bring some on with her, because Sabbath day believers today, some of them believe is do wrong every single day, but the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is our own serious day. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to only live right once during the week. Now, brothers and sisters, if that was true, my God, hey, I'd be the most Sabbath believer in this entire world. We only have to do it right once a week. That's it. Just once. And that will still be hard for some. No, sis. Wow. Your testimony. That's why I'm so grateful for this podcast, brothers and sisters. Because, yes, I'm sharing this out for you all to learn too, but I get so much from that. I learned so, especially within the sister coming into your ear and stuff. I've seen some left and right. That's why I just cut it off. Move you from, Facebook, whatever. I just want to cut it off. I'm not, look, I know I'm solid in this. I know I'm strong. Even me, myself, I'm not looking to, hey, man, yeah, what you think about Paps? Yeah, he's this, he's that. Because over time, brothers and sisters, the devil could find a way to just get that in you. Just small, just a little bit. Not too much. Just, if he could get it inside of you just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. Now, that brother or that sister that was in your ear constantly, brother, listen to what I told you now. Brother or sister, not sinners. Brother or sister in your ear constantly. Now, all of a sudden, that seed begins to plant and it begins to grow in you. Now you're just in church and don't even want to be there no more. All year the teaching is coming. All you hear is what brother and so was telling you. That's why, man, when it comes to just, I don't waste my time. I don't want, if I have to cut you off right away, you're very easy to cut off. Listen, you could be added on a friend on Facebook at 12:21. I just happen to see a post at 12:21 and 20 seconds. You could be blocked, unfriended by 12:21, 50 seconds. It's that quick for me. It's that quick. Right. I'm not trying to have I don't want no affiliation with anybody thinking in this. No, man, that's not me. Here it is. You're going to talk about the man of God, talk about the work, say all this and that, and you're going to come to me and we're brothers, and this is how you feel? Mm-hmm. Come on, man. It just don't work that way for me. So that's why I take in what she said. So just a brief go over. She was there before the keys to unlock the church. Meek. She was well-dressed, head covered. Mm-hmm. Quickening would be in her. I mean, supposedly Holy Ghost in her. Mm-hmm. Very, very quiet. Very well-mannered. Mm-hmm. Just a regular Joe, regular sister. Befriended you, say, hey, come over for dinner. That's the same one. Same. And another thing you said, humble, eh? You said
yes.
she humble. Obviously now she put an appearance of humbleness, an appearance of it. But this is what it, brother, because this is the dangers of it, brothers and sisters. I'm glad, thank God that he kept you during that time, because it's very easy for somebody to come out with it, So, but brothers and sisters, I hope this was another podcast I was able to help you and encourage you. I've learned so much. I'm learning so much. I learn, believe, and I apply right away, whatever I can, and my eyes just wake up to other things when it can, especially within that sister trying to convince, because I'm telling you, it's not something that's not known to say in holiness. I've seen people when I came in holiness, singing and or this is the truth of God. Yes, stay in the truth of God. Oh, come on, you better stay now. And you're there gone.
Yeah.
Speaking against the truth that they said to stay in.
That's right.
I've seen some stuff, brothers. But what do? I'm just gonna keep focused on God, because I know. That's why you just I don't know if there's another word for knowledge, but I know I'm in God's church. Like, when you just you know something. Like, I'm talking about what like when parents, they know their kid did wrong, but they're just gonna give their kid the opportunity to say the truth. Hey, what happened at school today? You know what happened. You know 150% what happened. And a smart kid knows, Mom, Dad, I know you already know. You understand? So I know I'm in the truth, brothers and sisters. I know it. And those of you watching from outside, listen, I've given opportunities to people, and I still haven't heard back from them. I told you, if you could find whatever church you're in, and come back to me. I will openly say on the I Thrive podcast, brothers and sisters, I've been lying. This is not God's church. This is false. This is wrong. Pastor Jennings is not. I will openly say that, but I still haven't heard back from them. So that's why and I give them, and I listen. I told them, you take all the time you want. No, people can't say that. You understand? Not everyone can say I'm in God's church. No, you can't. So I know I'm in the truth of God. So for those of you trying to swerve and convince and left and right, my days, you're wasting your time. I'll cut you off quick. I don't care if you're blood related to me.
Right.
Listen, I don't care if it was the case, if you're my own mom that birthed me, if you're my dad that raised me. If you're trying to swindle in my ear, I'll call, check up on you. How's everything? Keep it short and tack. That's it. I'll keep it short. Keep, hey, how's it going? Boom, boom. That's it. When it comes to this thing, I don't care who you are. I don't care. Right. I just don't care, brothers and sisters. I'm in this thing for, listen, I want to die while I'm in holiness, while I'm doing it. Yep. Or be ready if the Lord returns before that time. I'm not looking. I'm telling you, the stuff I went through, the stuff I had to reject, the stuff I had to let go. I'm gonna go through all that suffering, all that. Listen, from the time I've been in truth, I've never suffered so much in my entire life. Right. Never. And I'm gonna go through all of that just to go and say, nah, this ain't for real. Just because the teaching hit me, you know how many times the teaching hit me? All I gotta do, I'm just swallowing that quick. You right, you got me. Tell me, if he just had a gun while he was preaching, all right, you got me. You got me, man. You got me. Yep. Understand? So it's please, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, pay attention to what she said, because it's stuff that happens I know it happens. People trying to look on 1, 2 left and right, making you think, oh, well, look, so-and-so does it. They try to show you that others that been in holiness long, they do it. So what's wrong if we do it? I'm telling you, be careful. Listen to what she described. Humble. There before she went inside, there before they opened all the keys. Meek, quiet, well put together, head covering, long dress. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, Just stay with this. And those of you watching from outside, I'm telling you, this right here is the truth. And those of you watching, I know you know. I know you know. You know, you may take your time and whatnot. Okay, take your time and all. But I'm telling you right now, I've seen stuff where people, it's just like with the testimony with Sister Petrola, a mother finally wanted to repent, go down in water in the name of Jesus Christ. They brought her to the lake. Too shallow. So they said they had to get it done the next day. God cut her off. Not the next week, not the next month, the very next day. And here it is. People are still gonna say, no, I got all the time I want, bro. I'm 18, I'm 17, bro. I don't worry. Let me go, let me do my wild life. And then they'll say, let me do my wild life. And then if I want God, then just treating God like a hoe. If he's pleasing to me, if I feel like having him, all right. If I want to serve him, if I want to deal with, just treating him like some hoe. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm not gonna go. I can't afford to go anywhere. I don't care if I became a trillionaire tomorrow. I still can't afford to get out of this thing. I can't. So, brothers and sisters, as I say, keep one another in prayer. And another thing I'll say, just watch out. Take the teachings. Be careful. Look. Just be wise. And it's crazy because even with Brother Mark from the previous podcast, something similar happened to him, and he was new. You see, new. You see how these devils are. Eh? They want to take fresh meat, the new ones, the ones who aren't fully emerged, and you have to have knowledge for that. She's new, and who knows how many she's even tried that with. You understand? Who knows? God knows how many probably tried that with. You understand? It's just that freshness in you. My day. So that be very careful, brothers and sisters. Be very, very, I'm telling you, if you see something, those things where God has allowed me to see, that's how you feel. Okay. All right. And now all of a sudden they want to act like nothing happened and everything's bam boom. But I saw what you wrote about the man of God. I saw what you posted about him. I didn't even know how, listen, I'm not one to be on my Facebook to go on people and search what is on the, no, the fact how it came up, them I'm like, all right. And I just keep it moving. And some of the same ones they're going to try to come, just be friend and stuff like that. But brothers and sisters, be careful because this is your soul we're talking about here. This is your soul. It's like a driving instructor. When he's giving instructions, you want to make sure he could actually, or she can actually drive. You're not finna go in a car with somebody and you're going to risk your life. If they tell you, listen, man, I'm one of the worst drivers and the worst driving instructors. You probably may get into an accident, hey, you may lose a leg or whatnot, but don't worry, I'll make you pass. Listen, someone right in their mind, they're not going to go in a car with someone like that. So the same way, be careful for somebody trying to treat your soul like that in holiness. You don't want to lose out on this. But anyways, brothers and sis, thank you for coming on and sharing your enlightened testimony. I'm glad, God was able to have you, even remember to even say that about the sister that tried to, pull you out and so forth, because it's such an important thing. You know, because as wonderful as this thing is, that same, brother or sister you see in holiness right now, you clapping beside or even yelling in prayer, Lord Jesus. My days, the same one coming to you. Hey, man, listen. Man, you have to have your own thoughts, like, look, man, you coming in here. I know pastor is telling you just have the mind of God, but listen, he's only saying that because he wants us to think like him. They're gonna sound good too, they're gonna sound good. He just wants you to make us think like him. I'm telling you that, come on, listen, how you telling me all this and that, but you don't even celebrate the Sabbath, huh? Listen, here's the Bible, right? It says to keep it holy, right? You ever heard him teach on it, have you? I'm telling you, that's how they're gonna come. Hey, listen, sis. Tell me, man, look, all that talk with makeup and stuff, I seen brothers and sisters in this faith, they've been doing it. So he just talking to talk, man. That, listen, we ain't gonna go to hell for that. Come on. They'll take phone. They'll take their phone. You see that? Look, come on. You see it? This brother's been here for a while now. I'm telling you, don't worry. Listen, don't worry about that. This sister, she's been in it for a while, no? So I'm telling you, don't worry about that, man. I'm telling you, hi, they're gonna come so slick. Think of it like this. When PJ was preaching, I think it was Logan in the middle. I forgot who the other brother was. They were tugging him.
Yes.
They're tugging, and they're tugging, and he's saying, there's devil, there's God. They're gonna try to pull him left and right. But it's what he did after. It's how the devil's not always gonna be tugging. Like this, when he put his arm around Logan,
yes,
that's how you're gonna come.
That's it.
Hey, sis, you and your husband, y'all want to come over for dinner? We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Hey, sis,
wow.
You want to go for a picnic? We'd love to have you, Come on, now we love to. They just getting into that, the laughing and so forth. Hey, sis, I just wonder if we just go for a walk, just talk, Sis, you mean a lot to me, Man, because I try to stay away from these nonsense brothers and sisters in truth. I want to stay solid. I want to stay with people who are rooted and grounded. You get what I mean? Just there with the arm around you.
That's it.
And then when it's time, when they're going to take that chance, man, it's just like, well, you got to have your own thoughts, I'm telling you, me, listen, sis, you see me now, humble, meek, and all this and that. You see me. But look, what I would advise you, what I would tell you, you got to have your own thoughts. You got to. Can't be just coming in here thinking like that. Look, this man, he don't even preach the Sabbath no more. So that's why you have to, with the arm right around you. Be careful now. Be careful. This is your soul, brothers and sisters. And parents, you got to be careful for your kids.
Yeah.
Now you have yourself and your children. That's why kids, your parents are telling you, stop hanging around, stop fussing it. Just stop. Let's say, worst case scenario, that friend was not a bad friend. At least you're still fine. You get what I mean? But if your parents are telling you stay away from such and stuff, stop arguing. Stop going behind their back. Stop thinking listen, if you know more than your parents, something's wrong. Why don't you parent them then? In fact, parents, switch the roles. Make them go to work. Make them pay the bills. Make them do all of that. Pay the mortgage, the light bill. Make them do all of that.
Yeah.
Just stop. Your parents say stay away. Me, I listened to that. My parents told me stay away from a certain people. Don't be around this. Don't involve with that. I'm not gonna argue with it because I knew it was right. Don't go inside a store with friends that steal. All right, mom. All right, dad. Don't go inside a store. Don't be around friends that smoke because now somebody may be after them. They may get you first, or they may use you to kill you instead of getting them. Just listen. You don't know why they're telling you. Of course, parents explain, if you can and so forth, but listen. Your parents are telling you, stay away from, and that's even if it's a young brother or sister in holiness.
Yep.
Hey, look, man, I get it, y'all hang out, but hold back. Keep it short when you see them. Listen. Parents, they're looking out for you. Here, they're doing their job. You don't listen. You put yourself in a situation, and then you have the nerve to say, I feel like my parents don't even help me. Huh?
That's the same thing with God. With Pastor, he's our spiritual father. He's telling you, I'm watching out for your soul. He mean it. It's real.
Oh, yes.
When he tells us to stay away from this person, don't be friends with, you ain't come here to make friends. You ain't come here to find a husband. You ain't come here to find a wife. He's telling you for the best interest of your soul.
That's right.
He got a job to do, and he's doing it well. So same, you describing our natural father and mother. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Pastor. Absolutely. He's telling us for a reason because he can see, he can foresee it, and he knows. Mm-hmm. He's not doing it for the, everybody
for the fun of it, like as if he's doing it for the fun of it. Like he just got full of food and just decided to say, oh, I'm just gonna say this today.
If I had not took heed, I don't know what would happen to me because that prepared me for that. So when I got caught off guard, it made me pray. Like, wonderful. Stand still. Don't do nothing. Don't react. Just stand still. Okay, she's saying this. I can't prove she's not right. Let me talk to God about it. Wow. That's teaching. Because I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I prayed. God answered me, revealed to me that something won't right with this conversation, but I couldn't put my finger right on it. But I was able to ask for help. And then he shows me that pastor's teaching on Sabbath, because at that time, I never heard it before. I wasn't, familiar with the Sabbath day. Mm-hmm. But, everything that he tells us, we definitely got to take it in and literally say he has the best interest for me, even though I don't understand it. And it seems like this, seems like that. Just consider it. Just just listen to your father, your spiritual father. And that's what I do. And now going forward, when that stuff happens to me, it's, like you said, shut down immediately. And I'm looking at your side eye now because I'm mocking you now. Not judging you because you can change. And I know how easy the devil, Pastor, teach me this, how easy the devil will get into you and can do that to you and make you look like a fool. So I have compassion now. At first I was angry. Like, you come to me and talk like this? I get offended. Now I'm like, devil got you. You know, I gotta go pray for this person. That's teaching. That won't in me. I go pray for them and I say, okay, they must be watching too much of TV, too much this. They hang around. I could tell because this is not, you know, he messing with them, you know. And I'm like, Lord, you know, help him out. But I can't, but because you sick, I gotta get away from you. You get what I'm saying? I'll come back later to check on you.
Oh, yes.
But you sick now though.
Of course.
That's
better. God told me that. No, that's wonderful. No, and once again, there you have it, brothers and sisters. Like take this is why I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for, you know, testimonies coming, because there's so much information you can get out of it. I truly pray and hope. All I look is that at least one person is encouraged from this. Just one, I'm talking about actually encouraged, actually, you know, listening, taking the advice. All I want is just one person. If this thing could just affect one person, that's good enough for me. That's perfectly fine for me. You know, so thank you very much, sis, for coming on. I'm truly grateful and appreciative of it. Brothers and sisters, keep Sister Vivian and her family in prayer, as well as myself. Keep me and my family in prayer, as you know, our desire is just to strive and continue to hold on to God's unchanging hand. Keep the apostle and his family in prayer. Ask God to give the apostle strength. Ask God to give the apostle more wisdom, more food to just continue to go, but mostly strength, brothers and sisters, because it's not easy just to go around left. Like, it's when I see he's done preaching and I see a whole line after, like he didn't just get finished preaching a whole hour and a half or 2 hours, and he's just there sitting down, leaning, you know, all right, next, you know what I'm saying? And then probably as he's on his way out, hey, pass, hey, you know, so pray for him, brothers and sisters, you know, that God just gives him more and more strength, and pray for his family as well, and the faithful ministering brethren who labor along with him and their families just the same. Don't forget to pray for those who are sick, those who are afflicted, you know, those who are feeling suicidal, you know, those who, you know, are just going through it. Brothers and sisters, really just, you don't need to know the person exact or whatever or stuff like that. If you just don't know, but just ask God, man. Whoever is really going through it, Lord, I'm praying for them. I'm praying for that brother. I'm praying for that sister. Because I'm telling you, there are people that go through it in this teaching. Right. They're going through it. So let's really continue to keep one another in prayer. And don't forget, this podcast affiliates itself with one church and one church only. That is First Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, where the leader, teacher, and guide is Apostle Pastor Jennings. Also, if you want to know if you want to get baptized right in the name of Jesus Christ, you can go on to truthofgod.com, fill out a baptismal request, and God willingly, a local minister or a main secretary of that area will reach out to you and set up that baptism. Also, if you want to know if there's a temple in your area, you can go on to truthofgod.com, click location, see what temple is closer to you. That concludes, brothers and sisters. Once again, don't forget, let's continue to keep one another in prayer. Take the information you can get from this podcast, apply it and use it. And any advice I would give for those just coming in fresh meat, I always say, just listen to the teachings. Listen to, like me, my Facebook. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have none of that. I needed to get teaching inside of me. You know, I needed to learn. I need to understand. Just keep listening to PJ. You know, go on YouTube. And I'm not saying go crazy, but, you know, where it's like you're just listening and you're not getting anything. Listen to it. There's some videos I've listened to probably like around 15, 20 times. And I'm always, it's like there's always something else I'm getting out of it. You know, I'm not saying listen to it while you're just cooking and whatever and you're not getting nothing. Listen to actually understand. So when a moment does come, when a moment possibly comes, oh, I remember this. I somewhere. You understand? Yeah. So thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Share this out left, share this out, right? And thank you for the constant support. I'm truly grateful for it, brothers and sisters. Just keep me in prayer. It's only a privilege for me to be able to do something like this. There's no good in me for God to even allow me to be able to do this. It's by his mercy that he's allowing me to do so. I don't take this privilege. I don't take this where, I started. Oh no, this right here is I'm truly grateful to God for really allowing me to get this. I'm a nobody. I'm just a piece of dirt. I'm a wicked piece of dirt that God gives an opportunity day after day to get right with him and tighten the loose screws. There's nothing good about me, nothing at all. All praises is due unto God. Thank you for listening, brothers and sisters. Take care, stay safe. God bless, and peace be unto you. It's your boy, Sundin Esperance. Be in the build.
Peace be.
All right.